Good evening, everybody. You're watching the Nick Williams Show. My name is Nick Williams. I'm an independent filmmaker and producer from Boston, Massachusetts. And every week, on Monday, at 8 p.m. Eastern, obviously, the only time zone that actually matters, we talk about the business side of filmmaking, independent filmmaking. Sometimes we talk about recent events that we went to. And when I say we, not only do I mean myself and you, the viewer, because I do encourage live chatting, but I also mean we as in me and my lovely and helpful and freshly shaved producer, Ed.
Hey, Nick, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Couldn't do it, wouldn't do it without you. Tonight, Edmund, is somewhat of a boring stream. I say boring because I feel like this is stuff that nobody cares about. However, you should also follow me on Instagram if you don't already, because occasionally I'll put out polls, you know, like for this strip is, but not really. These were polls that were more like from the ballot box, asking which areas of the film industry filmmakers like yourself at home knew the least about. And interestingly enough, we had out of 4 of them, I think there were 4 options on there.
Okay.
The one that won the poll was paperwork and contracts. And, you know, I have no problem helping people with paperwork and contracts and stuff like that. And yes, it is boring and everybody loves to do the creative stuff. There's never going to be, at least in my opinion, I don't think that the poll would ever win with, like, how to light a scene.
What was the question on the poll?
What area of the film industry do you know least about, I just said.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. Welcome back to the show, producer Ed.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Couldn't do it. All right, we already did this. Before we get started, make sure you smash that like button. God, I fucking, you know, it's just the YouTube culture. You have to. You have to hit the like button, and you have to subscribe, and you have to share this video with a filmmaker that you feel knows nothing. Or, even better, share it with a filmmaker that you feel thinks they know everything. I guarantee you, they know nothing. But they'll learn something if they watch this show.
Nice.
I am big on the asides. I do like the asides. We like a decider.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get started into the paperwork, I am from Boston, and earlier today there was a wild person with a pew-pew device.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult to talk about on YouTube. Running around Cambridge, just popping them off. Edmund, did you see this video?
I did. The suspect was in front of Micro Center, one of my favorite stores.
Tell me more about the suspect.
He had shorts, a beanie.
Did you ask if it was a he?
I did not.
In Cambridge, that's what they do. They would ask.
Should have asked them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he had a beanie. They had a beanie on, and
Now you're assuming they're non-binary.
I-
Okay, rude.
I don't want to be rude.
And yet, here we are. Go ahead. Tell me more about this guy.
Yeah, he was running.
What did you say it was an AR-15?
It looked
style?
like some sort of
Assault.
assault style. Yeah. Semi-auto. Probably.
Yeah. Fully auto is illegal.
But yeah, he's popping off some shots, and then you can see in the video all over.
Yeah,
Facebook.
let's keep it less graphic when we're telling the story. But go ahead.
Yeah, his beanie moves just a little bit, so something
right.
goes by his head inches.
Probably, is it a bird? Is it a
bird?
plane?
It's something traveling so
Superman?
fast that you can't tell what it is. But
Right. Probably not a bug.
No.
Strong bug if it moved that beanie. Was it a beanie or a shiesty?
I don't know.
I think it was a beanie.
Just watched the video like twice. Didn't
Yeah.
know.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
What an idiot. I have plenty of friends who have arsenals. I mean, full, stocked, ready to go for the zombie apocalypse or whatever. Some of them are friends. Some of them are like, not preppers, but they're like, they do it for sport. They go to the range, whatever. Some of them are hunters. Because originally I lived up north, so there's a lot more woods up there. I have never seen any, like, they're all also, by the way, they're all very particular about their, I'm trying to think of the instruments, I'll say. Like, they are, like, very by the book. They are like, this is how, you know, like, you hold, which they should be. I'm glad they went to the class. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that they know how to use their instruments properly. But, like, there's just no way that this would ever happen with one of these people from up north. In fact, had one of these people from up north been next to this guy, wouldn't have gotten more than 2 shots off. Just saying.
I've noticed a lot of people who have instruments, they don't just have one. They always have, like, at least, on
50.
average, like 3.
50, 60. Yeah. Right. Hiding in the walls, multiple saves.
Do you have any instruments, Nick?
No, not that I'm going to disclose on the podcast.
Well, I don't.
Okay. Edmund lives at.
Someday. Just kidding. I'll never own one.
Have you ever been to a range?
Yeah, last time I was there is 2015.
Oh my God, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We'd have fun. I'll make a few phone calls. We'll have plenty of instruments.
Okay.
Plenty of notes to play.
Nice.
Tonight we're talking about paperwork. My notes here in front of me. I like to separate filmmaking paperwork into 5 categories: creative documents, legal documents, production documents, financial documents, and distribution documents. These are very important, and when you're building out a production binder, there's 2 aspects to this episode that are crucial that I say before we begin. Number 1, most importantly, not legal advice. This is not legal advice. These are documents. I may also leave some out. There are some documents that pertain to some shoots that are very specific, i.e., stunt coordination, paperwork, etc., etc. This is a generic list. It's still very lengthy. Probably too lengthy. It's a very long list, but I wanted to make sure that I covered as much ground as possible. So number 1, not legal advice. You're not necessarily done. Make sure you have a production attorney or someone with some legal background review everything to make sure you have everything. Also, some of these pieces of paper and documents, not everyone will need all of the ones even that I say on smaller shoots, etc. But I don't ever want to hear it again. I'm a big one and done kind of person. I want to knock it all out of the park. You know what I mean? So that next time someone says to me, Nick, I don't know anything about Pep, say, watch the episode. You'll learn everything you need to know. That way I don't have to talk about it every week with multiple things. Now, if you're watching this live, which I always encourage, please feel free to leave a chat, leave a question. I know for a fact some of you are producers out there. I know a lot of you are actors out there, but a lot of you are directors / writers / producers / DP / gaffer / whatever, and you feel like some of this paperwork doesn't pertain to you, you're wrong. And the reason that I'm emphasizing a lot of this right now, just before we begin, is because in the coming years, I have this weird feeling that productions on the East Coast, more specifically in New England, are going to get a lot bigger, a lot more in-depth, and will happen a lot more frequently. So, with that being said, this paperwork will become necessary, and this is good, preemptive, pretty important stuff. Edmund, what do you think?
I think I can't wait to hear more about it.
Great. Let's dive in. We're going to start with topic or section number 1, creative documents. The paperwork used to develop the story, vision, and creative direction of the film. Some people think that you start with the script, and you do. But the way that I have this stuff laid out is if this whole episode was one binder full of documents, this is the order in which I would want the documents to be, and how I order documents in my production binders. So at the end, when you have a master binder, a Bible, if you will, of the film, this is the order in which they don't necessarily, the first one I have here, and the reason I say this is because the first one is logline, and logline isn't the first thing you come up with. Obviously, you'd have the script and all that stuff. But these are the layers that you'd want to open up that binder, and the first thing you'd want to see is the title and the logline. The logline is a 1 to 2 sentence summary of the film's premise. Very important when it comes to pitching and telling stories, telling other people about what the film is about. It doesn't give the plot away. It's that little thing in the Netflix, the title, and then you have the log line underneath, and it's like, Edmund wakes up one morning after fighting viciously with his next-door neighbor who says he's ugly with his beard that he's had for years. And he has to decide whether or not he shaves it off. Period. Hilarity ensues. That's a log line.
Spoiler alert, he does shave it off.
No, see, that's the thing. There's no spoiler in the log line.
Yep.
Now, the synopsis, which is the next piece of documentation you'll need, is a short summary of the entire story. And you don't have to say spoiler in your synopsis. You just say, but it is everything. Edmund, after fighting with his next-door neighbor, the fight ends with verbal blows being thrown, and it ends with the neighbor saying, well, your beard is patchy and hideous, and I've never liked it. And then Edmund goes and decides to shave off his beard. The end. It's a synopsis of the whole story, right? It's needed during development, investor outreach, festival submissions, and distribution. I want to emphasize investor outreach. If you do not have a synopsis of the film, and what I've heard from a lot of people, and listen, I'm not shitting on anybody in particular. That's why I say these things, because I've heard them from multiple people. If I've heard it from one person, I go, okay, well, that person's an idiot. But if I hear it from 10 people, I go, there's no way there's 10 idiots out there. They just don't know what the hell they're talking about. When you're telling someone the synopsis of your film, and you go, so it's, okay, so if you take the birdcage and the Godfather, and you just removed all the characters except one from each, and then, but it's kind of like, we want to shoot it kind of like Twin Peaks, but then also we're going to take a step back and we're going to look at it from like a Jackass perspective. I'm thinking like reality or what. You have no fucking idea what you're doing. And good luck getting money from anyone when you go to pitch it like that, because they won't know what the fuck you're talking about, because you don't. A synopsis is very straightforward. A to B to C to D to E to F to G. To the extent that the investor might go, what happens next, H? And then you can go, no, it's actually I, J, and K or whatever, and we skip H because it actually comes in at the end. That's the twist. Oh. They go, wow, that's amazing. You see what I'm saying? Like, you need to know your story. And people, I feel like they're a little reluctant to do these synopsis type things, or they're a little reluctant to talk about these types of things because they're like afraid it's going to give everything away. Nobody's going to watch your fucking movie anyway. I'm just kidding. But people are afraid they're going to give this movie away. If you do a good job making the film, I'll tell you this much. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I would want to watch it anyway. Even if I knew everything was going to happen, I want to know how you're going to pull it off. I want to know how the story is going to look better. So that's your synopsis. It is a short summary of the entire film. A distraught Edmund, after fighting with his neighbor, has to decide whether or not to shave the beard. After interviewing all of his friends on what they think, he decides to shave the beard, only to then get dumped by his girlfriend, who only dated him because she liked the beard.
Did I make a bad decision or a good decision?
We leave that up to the audience.
Okay. All right.
Because he shaves, he gets a new job. So no girlfriend, new job. Whoa, what happens? Who knows? Okay, treatment. A prose version of the story written like a short story. So it's not a synopsis. Synopsis is like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. A treatment is pretty much everything, maybe 3 pages, 3 to 5, 2 to 3 to 5 in there, depending on if it's a short film or a feature or whatever else. Logline, synopsis, treatment. Here's the big one, right? Did you have they keep getting longer?
Yep.
You go logline, synopsis, treatment.
I see it.
What would come after treatment, Edmund? It's an easy answer. Go for it. It's the one everybody thought we'd start with.
Script?
That's right.
Whoa.
Look at you.
Hey.
Look who's paying attention. The script, the complete written blueprint for the film. It's needed before production, blah, blah, blah. We all know when we need a script. Okay, revised script pages. Again, we're talking final production binder. After everything's done, these are things that we need. Revised script pages, updated pages, replacing older script sections. I don't know if you've seen Goodfellas.
I have, on television.
Okay. You know the funny house scene that everybody always references?
Of course I do.
So that scene was actually improvised by Joe Pesci. That's why it's shot in a medium, because Scorsese was like, just turn the cameras on.
Okay.
And the funny house scene is just improvised by Joe Pesci and kind of listened to they all just sat there and had a couple cameras going at once. That still had to be put back into the script afterward. They had to log that story, add it into the script, Those are updated script pages. Lines that change. Otherwise, people that pay for the movie are going to expect the script to be what's on the film.
Yeah.
So it's very important. Script breakdown sheets, scene-by-scene breakdowns of production elements like props, cast, wardrobe, effects. These are separate from the script, and they have to do with pre-production, getting things ready, and checking off things to make sure that we have them when we're on set. Which brings me to my next one, which is the beat sheet. Not the sheet from your bed. A simplified outline of story moments and plot progression. Scene 1, Edmund in the hallway fighting with neighbor. Scene 2, Edmund in his apartment alone crying because of the insults that were hurled at him. Etc., 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 etc. No dialogue, just here's what happens. Bing, 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 bing. Okay? Character bios. Descriptions and backgrounds of major characters. We don't need the background for, coffee shop guy number 2. We don't need a bio for that guy, okay? Coffee shop guy number 2 is more than welcome to write a bio for his character.
Yep.
Don't need it in the Bible.
Yep.
We don't need it in the production binder, okay? Mood board, lookbook, these things can be kind of important. They help with production design. They help with the general feel for, gaffing and the DP, stuff like that. It's a big collaboration thing. Not a fan of putting the mood board or lookbook in my production binder. But if it's like a digital binder, like in a Google Drive, you can put a mood board, lookbook, things like that. Big one is next that I feel like a lot of people overlook. Pitch deck. A pitch deck is like a slideshow or a book of slides. A visual presentation explaining the film's concept, audience, very important, business potential, and creative vision. It is not a synopsis of the film. It is not a play-by-play whatever. It is a business document. A pitch deck is, here is what we have. We're going to tell this story in this way because this is the audience we're going for. And so we feel like if you give us money, it'll make this much back, etc. It's a business document, the pitch deck. Investors do not care. They do not, and they're not supposed to care. They're the money people. So they're not the creative visionary. They're not supposed to be. They don't care about who you have as the DP or whatever it is. Investors care about one thing and one thing only. ROI. I'm giving you money so you can make your movie. Ooh, you make a movie. Okay. How much money am I getting back? How much do I get for giving you money? Are there fees, percentages? How long does that last? Do I get royalties, etc.? What's your plan with my movie? That's what a pitch deck is for. We're going to make it look like this. We're going to have these cool actors in it. They'll bring an audience because they have this kind of following, etc. We feel like they'll do well in this because they did well in previous movies like this. Bringing them to the screen will really solidify. That's a pitch deck. That's what it's for, okay? Director's statement. Kind of dumb, especially on smaller productions. But on bigger productions, it becomes, important. A written explanation of the director's artistic vision and personal connection to the project. Very, very easy to go fucking dumb with this one. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the personal connection part. Nobody cares. What they mean is you have experience with, let's say it's a story about Ed's horrendous drug and alcohol abuse.
Okay, well, that's not true.
I said, let's say.
Okay.
If I'm directing the film and I don't know anything about alcoholism, drug abuse, abandonment, anything like that. If I don't know anything about those things, probably not the right director for it. But I also, if I do know about those things, do I need to lay it on thick? Do I need to make it over dramatic? No, I don't. I need to say that I am the one who can bring this vision to life. Nobody knows alcoholism better than me. That's what I need to say, And maybe you can give a little bit short reasons why, but we don't need to hear about, your uncle. All right, we don't need to hear about it, okay? Nobody does.
What about my uncle?
Oh, who cares? Producer statement. A statement explaining why the project, this is very important if you're a producer, and this is the thing. If you're the director, great. You can give more examples of the alcoholism, all that stuff, right? You know somebody who died of cancer, great. You and everybody the fuck else in the world. Producer statement is totally different. A producer statement is explaining why the project is viable from a production and business perspective. If you're a producer and you're writing a producer statement to attach to a project and you start in with the whole, well, this story is very important to me because I have a... Good luck. Good luck getting funding or money or anyone to take you seriously as a producer. I'm saying it's different from leave the creative, emotional crap to the actors and to the director. That's what they're there for, to be creative and emotionally crappy. Okay, I'm just kidding. I just want to make admin laugh. But seriously, that's what it's for. Storyboards, so overlooked. Did you know, and I just watched, if you have Apple TV, go and watch the Scorsese documentary. It's in parts, it's a series about him. Before he made his first film, before he went to film school, I'm talking like 16 millimeter in the backyard or on the roof of his building. He lived in Manhattan, I think, some borough of New York. It's all the fucking same, okay? Doesn't matter. He's living in New York, and he drew basically a comic of the whole film he wanted to make with his friends. They shot it on the roof before he even went to film school. And he just couldn't get this image out of his head, whatever it is. He was making storyboards, the comic. Essentially, it is a comic. It should be worked on, in my opinion, in tandem with the next one on our list, which is the shot list, a list of every planned camera shot. I'm not a big fan of shot lists personally.
Why's that?
Because people get so fucking bogged down that you never finish them. You get so bogged down, we have to do this, we have to do this. So you get 3 or 4 shots done because you did 17 takes on each one of the shots, and you're refusing to move on. I'm also a big like, hey, that looks really cool. Just press record really quick. Can we get sound in here? Look at that. Just press. Why are you not pressing? Well, it's not on the shot list. You're fired. You're fired, and I hope you never work in this town again. That's literally my life. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm all about the shot list. But if you're standing there waiting for someone to set something up and you can't just turn the camera around and just press record. Ew. Ew. Shut up. Oh my God. Everybody's always talking about how slow productions are.
Yeah.
And we can never get anything done. Maybe if you press record, we get more on camera. Everything's digital now, okay? Obviously, if you're using film stock, I get it, but we're not. We're not. So just record it. And by the way, if you're the editor out there, you'll love when people just record it because you got more to work with. You got more to whatever. Oh, you've got, hey, miss, excuse me. Come on over to set really quick while our main actor is in hair and makeup. The back of your hands looks hairy. Can we just put this suit jacket on you and you can grab this, with your hand in the shot for a close-up so we can get an insert really quick? Just do it. Just do it. She can shave her hands after. I had a friend in high school who used to shave the back of his hands. It was very hairy.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, the hands and knuckles. And it was like...
This was your friend?
Yeah, friend in high school. What does that mean?
Oh.
Who else friend would it be? I didn't know your friends in high school.
No,
I'm way too young for that.
I didn't know if it was maybe you projecting about yourself. I don't know.
I don't have hairy hands, actually.
No.
I have hair on my hands, but I don't shave them. I don't shave my hands. Tell me we don't have any viewers tonight, please.
You got a few.
Okay, good. Floor plans. I love floor plans. I think they're great. I think they're so helpful. I'm a big doodler. I like to say, okay, I want this person here. I want the camera here facing this way. I'm sure as a gaffer, you'd like floor plans.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Can,
windows, doorways,
planning purposes.
Yes.
People overlook this crap all the time. All the time. Now, I'm not talking about, like, I wake up on a Saturday, I got nothing to do. I call Ed, I say, hey, you want to shoot something? You don't need all this crap. You don't need all this crap. But if you're taking the $10,000 that it took you 3 years to save to make your baby, your project, you're going to spend it all on this, and you don't have floor plans for your locations, Give me the 10K. Just give me the 10K. Give me 5K. Light the other 5K on fire. Roll it up and smoke it. That's what you should do because you're wasting your time. Floor plans are so nice to have, especially for DPs, gaffers, dolly grips. They love this stuff because they can plan stuff out ahead of time. No point in bringing a whole shitload of equipment when you can't even fit it through the fucking doorway.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Right.
Someone tells me to bring all my stuff. I bring it, and they're like, well, just leave it in your car because just bring a couple of your lights out. Like,
sure,
great.
Yeah, great. You're overpaying now. That's what it is. Am I wrong?
No.
The last one, again, these don't apply to every production. VFX breakdown should be in there. This should be a documentation identifying scenes requiring visual effects. Okay, section 2. Again, not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice, but these things are important. Edmund, do you know what you have to form when you make a feature film legally? You don't have to, but it's frowned upon if you don't.
I'm guessing I was going to say liability company or a
company. A limited
LLC?
liability. Yes,
Yeah.
limited liability company. Legal documents, the paperwork protecting ownership, rights, liability, and compliance. LLC formation documents. If you're in Massachusetts, I don't know about the 5 other sister states of New England, but if you're in Massachusetts, it costs $5.29. File it right online.
And do you have to renew that annually? Or
You do. You
Okay.
do. With that comes an operating agreement, which is a document explaining ownership percentages and decision-making authority. Go.
Oh, I do have a question.
Sure.
So if you have to form the LLC,
A lot of paperwork to go through here, so go ahead.
and you got to renew it annually, until when can you stop it? When it's distributed? When everyone's paid? Like when can you stop paying for the LLC?
Well, you don't. So you're not required to pay for the LLC if you don't want to own the project anymore.
Okay.
You can go out of business, but also if it gets purchased from someone else.
Are you? I'm sorry. Are you sure it's annual or is it every 4 years?
Oh, yes.
I don't have.
I know. I've had multiple before.
Okay.
So yes, it is an annual fee, $5.29. If you file it online in Massachusetts, it's $500. If you file it paperwork through mail or in person.
In New Hampshire, it's much cheaper.
Significantly, but New Hampshire property taxes are also ass high. Okay. So they may not have sales tax, but they will get you any way they can. They love to pull these little parlor tricks. Our state's better. We have trees, shit like that. Live free or die. Okay? Go talk to Vermont. EIN confirmation, federal tax identification paperwork, operating agreement, chain of title documents. This is so crucially important. I cannot stress it enough, especially if you're making things where you think you're going to make money with the production, okay? I'm talking feature films, web series, stuff like that. Chain of title documents are super important. When you write a script, spend the $60 and copyright the script. Copyright the script. It proves chain of title, number 1. Then, when you do trademark registration, you don't need unless you're doing Harry Potter. You got a big IP. Okay? Copyright registration, super cheap. Do it online. It's a federal thing, not a state thing. So it's the same for everybody, no matter where you are watching this. Very, very good. Very important. Option agreement. Okay, so Edmund, you've written a script. You've copyrighted the script. And you have your log line. You've got all your stuff. And you need a producer to help you make the film because you've never made a film before, as an example. Okay? And even if you have made a film, you call a producer up and you say, hey, whatever, right? Producer will create what's called an option agreement. The option agreement says that you, the person with the copyright, you are assigning the copyright to me for a period of time, usually around 18 months. I have that amount of time to organize everything and make the movie. Now, that may include you as the director of the film, whatever, stuff like that. Yeah. But it may not. It may just be like, okay, Edmund, you wrote the script, you're just the writer, and you don't want to direct it, you don't know how to direct it, whatever, it's not the thing, whatever, right? Or it could be that you have a friend who's a director, and part of the contingency of my option agreement is, yes, Nick, I'll let you produce the film, you can do all this stuff, but my buddy Joe has to, or Jeff or Ryan, or I'm thinking of random names, has to direct it, okay? an option agreement is different from a purchase agreement, which is the next one. That is the permanent acquisition of intellectual property rights. So a producer is like an option agreement is like they're joining the team. They're going to handle all the bullshit, the paperwork and all that stuff, right? But they're joining the team. A purchase agreement is, thank you for your script. You have no say. If I want to light this on fire, I'm going to light it on fire. And you cannot make the movie later because I bought it from you.
Mm-hmm.
That's buying the rights. It's a totally different thing. Life rights agreement is a document for if I wanted to tell Ed's life story, nobody'd watch it, don't want to make it, don't need the thing in my binder.
Yeah.
Writer attachment or writer agreement. The writer agreement is different from a writer attachment. A writer agreement is the contract defining ownership, payment, and credit for the screenplay, which again is different from the option. The option contract has to do with attaching a production company or a producer, kind of the formation of the team-ish, the initial founding members of the team, and says who's going to make it. The writer agreement is the contract that says this is how much the writer's going to get paid. Collaboration agreement is an agreement outlining ownership between creative collaborators. How am I doing on time? Still, we're cranking. Okay,
29
good.
minutes.
All right, we're doing all right. Actor contracts. Big deal. Different from a talent release form. Actor contracts are how much the actors are individually going to get paid. Talent release form, which we'll talk about in a minute, is the permission to use someone's likeness. Yes, Edmund.
Completely honest question.
No, please lie to me.
Are there still actor contracts if the actor gets paid $0?
You have a contract stating that they're getting paid $0.
Okay.
Absolutely. So why? Why? Because if you don't, and the movie makes $50 million, what's to hold the actor back from saying, hey, he told me I'd get paid $20 million for this movie if it made money.
Yeah.
He told me holds up in court. The only defense against he told me is, no, I didn't. Here's what I told him. And here's what he agreed to. That's his signature right there. Smart people even take pictures of people taking signatures. So they go, oh, look, he's signing it. Oh, that's big. Woohoo.
It's like a digital notary.
Oh, yeah.
Notary.
If you're ever in a meeting and it's a big, you go into a meeting with someone and they go, oh, it's so exciting. We're signing our first film contract. Let's take a picture. That's why they're taking the picture. Yeah. Okay? That's why they're taking the picture right there. Especially if it's not the production company taking the picture and then they go, hey, can we get a copy of that? Mm. Yeah. Well, everything goes on Instagram these days.
Say, oh, hey, post that to social.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tag me.
Exactly. Actor contracts detail how much actors are or are not getting paid. Everybody should get paid, but actors do a lot of free work and then something randomly blows up. And you know what I mean? So you got to cover your rear. Crew contracts can also be referred to as crew deal memos.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the employment agreements for the crew members, which are different from the talent 90% of the time because some crew members get paid hourly, some of them get a day rate, some of them get a flat fee, some whatever, and actors are usually like, here's what you're getting paid for the production. NDA, non-disclosure agreement. This, people go crazy with the NDAs. They love the NDAs. They never make a contract. They go, don't tell anyone you're in the film. Fuck off with the NDAs, okay? Until you're Christopher Nolan and you really need to keep your thing secret for X amount of time for marketing purposes, tell everybody about the movie you're making. Tell everybody about the movie you're making. However, if you're making something that could be scandalous or could be something that's like, there could be, I don't know, political pushback or something like that. You may want an NDA to kind of keep things quiet until you're ready for marketing. And if you're smart and you have a marketing plan, you'll need an NDA because you don't want people talking about it. You can say, I'm in a movie with this person, maybe, but the NDA will be specific, if the people writing it are smart, as to what you can and cannot say pertaining to the materials that you are creating. Talent release forms we talked about. This is the permission to use someone's image, voice, or performance in perpetuity for the purposes of that production, promotion of that production, etc. But it has to do with that production.
Also known as likeness.
Yeah, or model release or whatever it is, right? Location agreement, permission to film at a property. Stupid people don't get these signed. Smart people get them signed. Which one are you? Okay? Especially when it comes to a local business. If you have a restaurant that says that you can film in their location, very smart to get it, even if it's your Uncle Bobby. It's your uncle. He's got a pizza shop. He loves to twirl pizzas all day. He'll do it for your film, and he'll twirl pizzas in the background of your pizza shop scene.
Nice.
And then your crew goes in there and pokes a big hole in Bobby's wall. Okay? And he says, I don't want this. Or worse, you marry someone that he doesn't approve of, and he doesn't want you in the family anymore. And he goes, remember that time when you filmed in my restaurant? I don't want anything to do with you. You can't use that. This form says you gave me permission. Fuck off, Bobby. Fuck off. All right? Film permits, government authorization to film in public spaces. You don't need a film permit to film inside a private location. You do need them in public spaces, unless you can get by. Unless you can get by. If you can get by, good luck. But again, my general advice, get them if you can. Always better to CYA, cover your ass. What?
Yeah, so I was watching some behind-the-scenes documentary.
Really quick, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The next three: insurance policies, COI, certificate of insurance, music license agreements, composer agreement. Those are for music stuff. It's all the same. It's how these people get paid. Very important. Now go ahead and tell me that's it, and I can move on to the next section.
Yep. So is it like if your crew consists of more than 5 people, then you have to get the permit, or does it depend on like the state or county you're shooting in?
It depends on the state entirely.
Okay.
Good luck getting filming permits in LA.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Massachusetts loves to give filming permits because Massachusetts loves filmmakers. All of New England, for the most part, loves filmmakers. If you're a filmmaker looking for a place in the country to move to New England because we love filmmakers. We have an ever-growing, it seems, filmmaking economy and community here, which is fantastic, especially on the indie side. So don't be afraid if your budgets are small. Bring them to New England. We want them all. And we have the best talent because we don't have to act. We really are this crazy. But yes, it is state by state. So if you're filming in Massachusetts public areas, you will need to file for a film permit there, and then go to New Hampshire. You'll need to file a film permit there.
Okay.
Okay? It is state by state. It might be county by county. It might be. But that would depend on the state. In Massachusetts, it's by the state. Okay? Production documents, section 3. Don't ask. Just keep going. Paperwork used to organize the actual filming process. Nothing to do with editing necessarily. Production schedule, master calendar for the production timeline. I do have an associate of mine who is also a producer. His name is Max. He lives in Los Angeles. He is a god.
Friend of the show?
Everybody's a friend of the show. If you're not a friend of the show, why are you here? Okay? If you're a filmmaker, you're a friend of the show. But yeah, he's a producer in LA, and he is a god when it comes to production schedules. He loves making the documents. He's very, very helpful with that stuff. A strip board, different from the poll that I put on Instagram. This is a strip board.
Okay.
Okay? Kind of like pin the tail on the donkey. No, I'm just kidding. A strip board or a shooting schedule is the boxes, actually, that go on the call sheet that say the scene number and all that stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that you're shooting for the day. But it's the entire film. It's just the strip. It's the entire film. Heading, what happens in the scene, what number the scene is, how many pages it is for filming efficiency. One-liner schedule, a condensed scene-by-scene production schedule. The production calendar, what days, a broad overview of prep shooting, post-production dates. The dude report. Do you know what a dude report is?
I don't.
Day out of days. That is the daily production instruction sheet. On this day, we will be in this restaurant shooting these scenes. That's what's happening. These are the people that need to be there. That's what it is. A little behind the scenes, a little inside baseball for you, okay?
Okay.
Daily production report. Do we need these on $10,000 films? No. $10 million films? Yes. $150,000 film? Probably. You know? These things are good to know in case we need them. And let me tell you, if you ever have an audit of any kind, it's better to be safe than sorry. That's all I'm saying. If somebody says, well, did you do your safety meetings, and you don't have a safety meetings report, how can you prove it? If someone says daily production report, you have your DPR, can I get your DPRs or whatever? And they go, yeah, what's a DPR? That's a problem. That's a problem. So you should know this stuff. Has anybody ever asked you? No. But should you have them? Yes. Camera reports, logs documenting footage, details, and camera settings. This is actually important on the digital side as well as the celluloid side. What are the settings? F4, T2, whatever it is, the style of shot, because the shot list is there, sure. On the day, especially if you didn't do your pre-pro right, you didn't get floor plans, things had to change, that dolly shot turned into a pan, okay? What if you got to go back? What if you don't get everything? What if you need to set up the exact same scene the way it was on day 1 on day 7? You got to go back, and you only have these 2 times to do it, and everything else in the middle is already scheduled. Can't go back. So camera reports are super important. Sound reports also super important. They log tracking audio recordings and notes. Script supervisor notes, ask your scriptie. If they're a good scriptie, they should know, but they should have notes on every single take, every line, every this person did this. She actually turned her back in this scene. She's supposed to do this. She used her left hand, which brings me into the next one, which would be your continuity reports. Now, sometimes people like to mesh things together. They'll have the scriptie do the continuity and the scriptie notes and the blah, 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 and all this stuff. Yeah, sure, on a $10,000 shoot. You got $1 million shoot, 100,000 plus shoot. Have another person there that does continuity, okay? Don't make it be the PD person. You can. Don't make it be the set deck person. You can. But when you have a big budget, not only should you be giving these people work, but also it's very important, and it makes the editing flow easier. All of these positions are not there to cause chaos. They are there to organize chaos, because production is fucking chaos, is it not?
It is.
Can be. But what if they're just playing music all day, doing nothing? You need your gaffer to walk up and go, beep, beep, and turn off the music, you know?
First AD.
Right. Makeup continuity sheets, wardrobe lists. These things are important too. Again, if you're shooting somewhere on day 1 and then you have the location again on day 7 and 7 other locations in the meantime, company moves, etc. It's all about continuity. Prop lists, especially if things are rented, they're very important. And I mean everything from a pack of cigarettes to like how many cigarettes are in the pack. That could be important for the scene. You never know. Equipment rental agreements, obviously. Incident and accident reports. Everyone should have a blank copy of an incident and accident report in their log. The producer should have one on set. There should be one on set within a binder somewhere. And if someone trips and falls or whatever, it's got to be marked down. It's got to be marked down. It's got to be noted what happened. Did an ambulance pick them up? What happened, where, and when? And again, it's all about covering your ass. Just logging it. Just reporting it. Go ahead, Edmund.
How severe does the accident have to be for somebody to log it? Like if somebody tripped and they, bashed their knee and they're like, no, I'm fine. Everyone, it's all good. I'm fine. Should you still log it?
Do they require any first aid?
No.
Okay. Do they turn down first aid, but they need first aid?
Well, that's kind of up to them.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry, with a cop driving by. Just give it a second. Incident report. That's the difference between an idiot and a professional. If you have somebody trip and they say, ow, that needs an incident report. And if somebody looks like they might need a little first aid, it's not up to them, okay? If they want it to be up to them, they can have it up to them at home alone. And they can sit there and say, ow, I don't need first aid on their couch without their insurance, without, you know what I mean? Without having to affect other people. There is, especially on a narrative film, some corporate stuff too, but on a narrative film specifically, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of heavy equipment. And I think it was Sam Luca was on the show. I interviewed him a year ago, whatever, right? And we were talking about narrative filmmaking and stuff. And he made the best comparison, I would say. He said it's a lot less like Disneyland and a lot more like a construction zone. It is a construction site. There is sharp objects and heavy equipment everywhere. And there are a lot of people talking about a lot of different things all at once, and everybody is under a time crunch and pressure. If you trip and fall, someone has to look at it, whatever it is, your ankle, your knee, whatever. And you might say, no, I'm fine. Have somebody look at it. You lose the right to say, no, I'm fine on my set, because when you go home and you're not fine, it's my insurance that gets called. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you want to take out your own insurance? You want to make your own movie? Make your own movie. I hope you do. Incident and accident reports. We have the next one. Ooh, number 4. These are the big boys. Financial documents. The paperwork used to raise, track, manage, and report Monet. It's my next door neighbor's name, Monet. Just kidding. Money. Business plan, a document outlining the project's financial and market strategy. This is different from the pitch deck, but can go in tandem with said pitch deck. Investor agreement. This is the contract between the film producer, director, whoever's taking out the investment or taking the money from the investor, to the investor that says, here's what you're giving me, here's how much I owe you, here's how I'm going to pay it back, and starting when and for how long, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Private placement memorandum, a legal disclosure document explaining investment risks. That means you're making a movie. And I don't know if you know this or not, Edmund, but all art is subjective.
I was going to say that. I agree.
Pretty subjective. Just watch Devil Wears Prada 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Subjective. Yeah, exactly. Look at the Michael Jackson movie. You want to see a Michael Jackson concert? Go watch the Michael movie. Want to see anything about Michael Jackson's life? Don't watch the movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some people like the concert. But the private placement memorandum will explain that we're making a movie, and not all movies make money back. Very important. Very important. Do not take $1 million from someone, some dentist or lawyer, whatever, and say, we're going to make so much money with this. This is our ticket. It's not your ticket. It's not your ticket. Okay? It's not. Subscription agreement is an investor's formal commitment to purchase shares or participate financially. Top sheet budget. This is where you see it's the summary of the budget. It is not a detailed budget. It is the top sheet. It's above the line, below the line. It's like generally the gaffer's going to get $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 or $1,500 or whatever it is it's going to be. How is that divvied up? What does that mean? Does that include the gaffing equipment rental? Is that just his day rate? Is it, you know what I mean? Top sheet is general. Full detailed budget should be right behind it. That's why they call it the top sheet, because underneath it is the full detailed budget breakdown, if that makes sense. So line budget is what the detailed budget breakdown would be. Cash flow schedule, a schedule showing when money must be spent. So when are the crew and talent getting paid? When does the rental house need their money? Who is paying for insurance, and when is that money going out? When is the money coming in? It's the in and out. The cash flow schedule is the in and out of the money. Purchase orders are formal approval documents for purchases for the production. Petty cash logs. Sometimes you'll have, anybody got a 20? On set, I got to buy coffee. Anybody got a 20? That 20 is petty cash, and it needs to be logged. And those people who spend that money, if it's not production, need to be paid back that money down to every cent, because they are not part of the LLC usually. And they're getting their W-2s or 1099s and stuff like that. Very important. Expense reports. You want that $20 back, you better file an expense report.
Yeah.
Better file an expense report, and it better pertain to the production. I've talked about expense reports before and how my hair gel was not covered by the company. This is not just a film-only report. Okay? Expense reports are used everywhere.
Did you say that on the stream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Time cards, payroll tracking forms. Very, very important for people that punch in and punch out. Not necessarily as important for people that are on day rates or things like that. Payroll reports for ADP, whatever it is. Tax forms, W-2s versus 1099s. A general ledger. Every single time a transaction from the LLC is made, it needs to be logged in the general ledger. That general ledger has everything from Epidemic Sound subscription, $19.99, to Edmund gets paid $2,000, and I got one coffee for $4.64. General ledger. Every single thing that production spends on is there. That general ledger will get divvied up into the necessary budgetary areas, but the general ledger is just every single transaction that gets made. And then more for the investor side would be the recoupment waterfall, which is money comes in, and then when the production is finished and you're selling the work or whatever, seller's agent, ticket sales, promotional, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Who gets paid back money when? Where does that money go? Because let's say your investor agreement says, I get, first dollar back, right, till I'm paid back 100%, then you guys can get paid or whatever else it is. If you sign that agreement, every single dollar from ticket sales and everything else goes right to the investor, and that's not usually how it works. Sales agents have to get paid. I'll do more on this in a later episode. And then royalty statements: who gets royalties, who doesn't, etc. Last category, we can have a little bit of fun. Distribution documentation, which is the paperwork needed to release, market, sell, and deliver the film. Festival submission forms. Some people go on Film Freeway, they click submit, and then they leave it alone, and they don't print out any documents, and they don't keep track of anything. That's on them, and that's dumb. All of this, by the way, is to help with tax write-offs. If you don't have these documents, you can't prove that you spent the money. It doesn't work that way. Applications for all film festivals need to be kept, even the rejections, because you spend the money and then they say no thank you, but you don't get the money back. They keep that application fee, okay? Electronic press kit, or EPK, a promotional package containing bios, stills, trailers, and press materials. Very, very, extremely important. Cannot stress it enough, especially on the indie side, because nobody fucking knows who you are. This stuff tells them. It's not a bio of the character. It's Edmund fighting with his neighbor in this movie, played by Edmund. And they go, who the fuck is Edmund? And this goes, Edmund is an actor who's been Go, oh, okay. I'll write a story about him. That's great. Watch the trailer. Ooh, good movie.
Watch the teaser.
Trailer deliverables, exported trailer files, and promotional edits. Poster files, screener links, distribution agreement. All very important. All easy stuff. Everybody knows about these things. Sales agent agreement. Super important because they usually get paid back first. When you have a sales agent who says, I'll sell this thing for you, they're going to take a big old commish. Big old commish. Big old 20% usually.
Ooh.
And the down payment, when someone does buy the film, usually the down payment is usually about 20%. So guess who gets paid back immediately? Sales agent. Big old commish. That's why they're so happy. Salespeople are so happy all the time because they take that commish first and foremost, and they'll let you know. Just ask them. Okay? Aggregator agreement. What do you have here? Contract with a platform delivery company, aggregator like a Netflix. You're going to need lawyers for this stuff if you get up to a Netflix level. Hopefully you do. I'm not saying you won't. Just making sure you're on the fucking lookout for it. Couldn't have lost my train of thought there, but you know what I mean? Very important. Deliverables checklist, a list of all materials required by distributors. They will usually give you one, and especially if they're trying to give you a lot of money. They might have people that will help you because they'll say, we need this and this and this. QC, quality check report, is a technical quality control review of the film. Is there any skipping, jumping, weird frames? Is there subtitle issues? Couldn't think of the word. Music cue sheet, a report listing all music used in the film and when and in what order. Closed caption files, which are separate from regular files. They don't get burned in like you do when you make a TikTok. DCP documentation, files and verification records for theatrical exhibition. We're seeing a lot of less DCPs, by the way, because people have such high quality projectors and stuff. Now, DCPs are kind of the thing of the 90s. A lot of film festivals still use them. Is what it is. Territory agreements. If we're talking about territory agreements, you should not be watching this video. You should be well off. Okay, if you need a territory agreement. And deliverables Bible, a master collection of all required distribution materials. That is the complete and total list of all paperwork that I would include in a production binder for a film. Did you learn a lot, Edmund?
I did, quite a bit.
Talk about something more fun, please.
I see you got some new gear here in the studio.
I do. What, you gave me the C-stand?
Yeah, got a new C-stand. You have a C-stand now.
I do. I never had one before. Edmund, do you know why they're called a C-stand?
Yes.
Why are they called a C-stand, Edmund? For the newbies out there.
I believe they're originally called century stands.
And why would they be called a century stand? First of all, not shaped like a C. So I appreciate you telling me that they're century stands. Are they from a century ago?
About?
But why then, when they were first invented, would they be called a century stand?
I honestly forget.
Because they're built to last a century.
Oh, good to know.
They're fantastic. I love a good C-stand. I do love a good C-stand. Was that it? Was that all you had?
For what?
I don't know. I said, what else you got? Anything fun?
Going
to Cambridge later? Just kidding. Please don't do things like that. I don't know if it was like a road rage thing or whatever. Please don't go out there and do stupid things or you'll die.
Yeah, or get arrested.
Yeah, hopefully the former. But it is what it is. People are crazy. We need a lot less crazy out there. We need a lot more people ready to make some money. Next door neighbor. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I told you, boring episode today. Boring episode.
Yeah, but I learned a lot. I'm
Did you
sure
know?
all the viewers learned a lot, too.
I don't know. Did they?
I hope
There's
so.
nobody even there. Tell me there's nobody there tonight, please. Please, because we're getting close to 9.
We have 2 comments.
Oh, what do we have?
Bottom feeder 9829.
There you go. Bottom feeder. Talk to me.
I'll specifically ask for the ceiling height of locations often overlooked.
Yes. Totally agree.
That alone will eliminate certain pieces of gear from my packing list.
Yeah, that's true. That's a ceiling height is a very, very big one. What was the other one? Thank you, bottom feeder, by the way. Thank you. Go ahead.
Amblarda, do you use a specific software for floor plans?
Okay. So, no. But you can use a ton of them. SketchUp, there's CAD, there's a whole bunch of different things you can use if you're making your floor plans. I meant that the location should be giving you floor plans. A lot of places will have them. It doesn't matter if it's like an apartment that I'm moving to, or I always ask for floor plans. Do you ask for floor plans?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
I always like to know if furniture is going to fit and stuff like that. Everywhere I go, I'm like, you got a floor plan for this place?
For a new apartment?
Yeah, but especially with film stuff too. I'm always like, oh, that's nice. A cool restaurant. You got a floor plan?
Yeah, I'll ask for photos from the producer or something.
Photo means nothing to me.
I know.
Photo means nothing. That is a stupid thing to do.
You get photos and they're just terrible.
They're terrible. They're glary. They do everything in 0.5 to make things look bigger. It's like, no, I want actual. I want to know. I want to know.
They'll show me like a photo, be like, "This is where we want to shoot." I'm like, "Okay, what's on the other side?" But what happens if you turn around? Like, see how much space you have? Because then, like, maybe 30% of the time they'll actually shoot the opposite way.
Yeah, just ask for a floor plan, man.
Yeah,
you got to.
I'll start doing that.
Yep, I do have a laser measurer. You hold it up against one wall, bing, turn it on, it'll give you the measurement between stuff. So you can make your own. That's a pain. But it is doable in a pinch. It is doable. And you can use pretty much anything. You could use a spreadsheet and just like make everything square and then just kind of, map it out. The ceiling height one is such a good call too. It really is, especially for like everything from light shadows to boom ops to, if you want to China ball something or whatever, and then it's like in the shot and you have no room and you can't do, what are the hangover arm things called? What do you do?
A boom arm?
Yeah, but like, what do you call it when you want to like boom it over like a China ball?
Boom it over.
Oh, really? I'm a producer, buddy. I don't fucking know.
I think that's the right term. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought there was another arm over.
There's a menace arm. There's a
menace arm something. Like a French flag. Love a French flag.
Pipe spreader.
Hey,
wall spreader.
Whoa. Spread them. Anyway, that's about it.
We have one more comment.
Oh, what do we got?
Bottom Feeder 9829.
There you go.
Very helpful episode.
Thank you.
I'll be downloading this for future use. Many thanks.
Speaking of, thank you for saying that, actually. I've put together a document, and I just might, put a link to a Google Drive document in the description for this video if it's something that you think you'd use. It is just a top sheet list of every document that I have mentioned this evening, and it should be something that you print multiple copies of and use during development, pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution planning for your films. If you want that sheet, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'll put it in a comment, in the link in the comment, and pin it. I'll pin it. I'm trying to be better at YouTubing, So yeah, if that's something that you'd like, let me know. I'd be happy to do it.
What else is new with you? What else is going on?
So much crap.
Yeah. Film-wise?
Life-wise, but that's all right. Film. I don't want to say graduating, because graduating means moving up, but I am moving somewhat laterally, kind of out of filmmaking a little bit and more into helping filmmaking.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's a weird transition.
Well, I know what you mean, but...
Well, they will too, eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually they will know. And we will all be much closer. Much closer, much more helped, and much more made films. Much more films will be made. It's 9 o'clock. Leave a comment down below if you'd like that production document top sheet. I'd be happy to do it. Happy to put it out there for everybody. I might just do it anyway. Might just say, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. All right? Also, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Super, super important. Mondays live, 8 p.m. here on the YouTubes. Edmund, do you have anything else for our lovely viewers this evening before we go? Any more comments about the Cambridge person?
Shooting?
Yeah.
Film shooting.
Yeah. Well, but they was on film. There's a lot of videos out there for
on Facebook. Probably a lot
what
on
an idiot.
X.
What a fucking idiot. No? Yeah. Who does that?
I don't know.
Well, you know. I know. Edmund knows. Anyway, that's all right. I'll say this. I said. I got a little foghorn leghorn thing going there. I'll say this. Not surprised. Edmund, you surprised?
Yeah, a Cambridge guy, a guy from Cambridge.
Who said he was from Cambridge?
That's a good point.
Definitely was not from. He had an AR-50. He was not from Cambridge.
Well, we don't want to really
Cambridge
say what
people walk around with like leather satchels and no socks.
Yeah, they do.
Okay?
They do.
He was not from Cambridge.
Yeah.
He was in Cambridge. Wrong place, wrong time. And obviously, if there are any victims out there, we're praying for you.
Yes.
Deeply.
Yep.
All right. I think that's about it. Edmund, you good?
I'm great.
Awesome. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next Monday. And we're going to be talking about think we're going to be talking about, I don't want to like preempt it because then we won't talk about that. But like, I think we'll be talking about pitching your film.
Nice.
Thanks so much. See you next week.